Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dead Rising playthrough. Since we definitely for sure ethically treated Brad's being sick, whatever that was, we kind of just have a little bit of time in the mall to do whatever we want, and it's at this point in the game where you get a lot of access to different psychopaths and stuff to go after. The mission that we just got access to above the law, though, is an interesting one because there's no other mission really like it in the game where, depending on how long it takes for you to get that mission started, more people will die. Like if you
All
access the
right.
mission, if you access the mission while it's still in blue, then you save like 3 people. If it's yellow, it's like 2, and if it's red, I think you only save the 1 girl. So I don't think there's any other mission like it in the game, which is really interesting. Also, hi Steve Bloom.
Wolverine.
It literally is just Wolverine. Steve Bloom does the dad for the Sniper family too. This is like the only psychopath that I think is portrayed even a little bit like sympathetically. At least out of like the optional ones. Like Isabella, I think technically counts because you do have a boss fight with her. But like this is the only optional psychopath that you're supposed to kind of feel bad for because he's very clearly having a war flashback right now, which is very different than like the silly supermarket guy or the clown. He's also the most annoying psychopath in the game to fight, in my opinion. So that
Well, it's almost like he's a trained soldier.
yeah, but he also like has a secret network of tunnels
Oh,
underneath
God.
the hardware store, and he can shank you out of nowhere and does a lot of damage. And yeah, he also it actually does feel like he's trained in guerrilla warfare because he like hides on top of the different aisles and like plants traps and stuff like that. Trying to kill him with melee or with rifles is really, really difficult. His music is also rad as fuck, though.
He didn't just shank you, he impaled you.
Yeah, that went straight up your rectum.
Not a problem for a dressed teddy bear man.
At the very least, there are a bunch of decent weapons in the hardware store, because there's like a bunch of like chainsaws and different things like that.
Yeah. If you want good melee weapons, you definitely want to show up here.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like they've got like the scythe I think is also here. Like the hedge clippers are a surprisingly good weapon, all things considered. I just love how much stuff that they have playable like as weapons, which I know is the point of the game. But it's also good that like a lot of them, even if you would consider them like a joke weapon, how useful they actually can be. Like the lawnmower is a good example. Like that's something that you think, oh, you put in there as a joke because lol, I'm mowing down zombies, ha ha ha. But it's actually like a remarkably good weapon. The what I'm doing wrong here is trying to get him with the broadsword because the swinging animation's too slow. So he'll be out of range by the time the hurt box is active. I should have been doing like the knife if I wanted to avoid using the chainsaw.
I was gonna say, isn't there a machete here in the department store?
I wouldn't be surprised. I don't remember exactly where it is. The scythe, I think, is also fairly fast. I don't know where he got the. I don't know where he got the explosives, but oh my god, are you really right now?
Just boop him in the back.
It's one way to do it.
Yeah, but this seems
You
like
mean me?
actually surprisingly sad.
You're wearing this.
Take this.
It's my wallet. Buy some new clothes, son. You look ridiculous.
She was done in by those damn zombies.
Are you having a war flashback or not, dude?
Well, he's not anymore, so we can exposit about how he is actually having a war flashback.
Lost it.
Duh.
Everything.
You're really killing the mood here.
White.
Have you guys read that one Awkward Zombie comic? It's based on Bravely Default, where like there's a scene in that game where like this guy's son dies and it's very tragic. And so Ring a Bell walks up to him and he's just like, I can't imagine what you're going through right now. And then the guy just turns and says, what are you wearing? Because at that point in the game, you have like the ranger outfit where you're wearing like a furry costume, like with a fox head and everything like that. And it's just that comic is this entire game, effectively.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that scene would be like wouldn't be out of place in like The Walking Dead or something, and it's in this, which is like I suppose it. Oh, and now there's zombies here. Cool. Okay.
Neat.
You know how it is when you have an exposition cutscene with the boss, and then suddenly a bunch of zombies take the cue to walk in while the game's loading. You know how it is.
I love the mall music.
Oh, the mall music's great. Because it's just like it's like little like white noise, soft jazz kind of stuff that plays while you're killing the zombies, and it's just really, it's like surprisingly fitting.
Yeah. Both this game and Dead Rising 2, they just have like this sweet like soft piano music that's like going while you're just having fun in the shopping mall, you know.
The music for the boss fights I also really like. Like the boss fight music for I forget, Clint I think is the guy in the hardware store. That's one of my favorite songs in the game. The Convict song is also really good, and the credits music is also like amazing as well. This game does have a pretty good soundtrack.
Yeah. And I think Dead Rising 2 even has an even better soundtrack. Oh boy, the raincoat cult.
This is the most random thing in the game, where it's just like halfway through, suddenly there's a cult that's been here the entire time.
You guys from Silent Hill or something?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. We got on the wrong set, but we've already kind of settled in here. Is it okay if we stay?
Yeah, sure, why not?
But there's also like flyers you can see for these guys in the mall before this point. So they were just kind of like here already in Willamette, and then they just decided to, I don't know, like murder people because it's the zombie apocalypse, I guess. I don't know.
But this is like a significant change in the gameplay because like the raincoat people are going to be throughout the mall until you take out this psychopath guy.
Yeah, like you can ignore him, I'm pretty sure. Like, you don't ever have to go for this guy. And as long as you leave him alive, then...
You're not one of ours.
What are you talking about? I fit right in.
Teddy bear?
Oh no, it's our dark nemesis, Teddy Bear Dress Man.
What?
Little does he... He's just mad because one day Frank snuck into their hideout and drank all the communion wine. Ate Chick-fil-A on Sunday, did you?
Just because I chose not to cosplay as the Green Goblin. Okay.
Also, he just leaves and lets his lackeys do the work for him.
I mean, that's what leaders do, don't you know?
These guys are dangerous, though, because they can incapacitate Frank, and then they actually take you away. I don't know if this happens in this playthrough.
Oh, yeah, it happened to me off-screen a couple of times. I don't remember if I left it in or not, because I definitely... It makes life a living hell. You lose all of your weapons, you lose all of your clothes, you lose anything that you're holding on to at that point if they ever incapacitate you. They're also just, like, deadly, because they can, like, suicide bomb you, and that does a lot of damage if you get hit by that.
I mean, you're almost dead now, so...
Yeah. Run away!
Oh, God!
The belly flop of doom.
But it's like, literally, these guys can, like, gas Frank, even when he has, like, full health. And, like, you'll be...
And he died.
Oh, no!
Teddy Bear Dress Man down.
Alright, so take two. However, they are the best way to grind experience in the game. Because
Well, they each count as a psychopath, yeah.
So you basically get points for killing 500 zombies each time you kill one. And they're, like, assuming you don't get gassed or blown up, they're not that much harder to kill than normal zombies. So you can just walk in and out of areas and kill a bunch of these guys. Or hang out in the... Oh, thanks, Rich.
Oh my god.
A survivor actually helped me. That doesn't ever happen. Oh yeah, the guy in the Jill sandwiches, here we are. This is also one of the more annoying guys in the game because even after you save him, you still haven't saved him because he has a chance to mutiny against you later on, which is miserable. You have to make sure you feed him too in order to get him to come with you.
I'm really impressed with that shot, Frank.
Why wasn't that erotica, huh?
Okay.
I let you eat a baguette. Are you coming or not?
So yeah, I feel like trying to take any more than like 2 people at a time is an incoherent mess a lot of the time.
Hey, you did it.
Yeah, you get an achievement, I think, for both taking 8 people in general back to the security room. But
I think
also,
there's one for, like, escorting lots of women, too. Like,
yeah.
It's called, like, Ladies' Man.
This is another part that's easy to miss, is that you have to be at the security hall at 12 a.m. in order to see this specific cutscene, because you don't know to go to the supermarket to find Isabella otherwise, even though I suppose Otis is supposed to be looking at these, and he just doesn't tell you if you're not actually in the security room at that point. Cool.
Way to drop the ball, Otis. Oh, boy.
This is actually, like, the most uncomfortable psychopath in the entire game. Like, this is very questionable.
Yeah.
It's also the easiest one, though, because any weapon you have can pretty much murder her.
Pauline Blart Mall Cop.
Oh, can we... Okay, actually, you know, I've never seen Paul Blart Mall Cop. Is that movie actually bad, or is it just a meme?
Officer, can I talk to you for a minute?
I've seen bits and pieces. It's pretty bad.
Ah, okay.
I'm sure little children could enjoy it just fine.
Probably.
Man, I'm glad that the police have improved so much from this since 2006. Okay, then.
I'm just gonna shoot you in the head while you're laughing, then.
Yeah, imagine that.
Like, I think her only...
Okay.
Yeah, so her weapon's the stun gun, which... okay, we get erotica points for catching her panties, which are not in shot. Alright. But she's, like, literally one of the only psychopaths who takes, like, stun damage from your attack that you can chain into another attack. And she doesn't really do that much damage to you if you get hit. So, she's probably the easiest one in the game.
A good beginner psychopath to start with.
You've just been toppled by Teddy Bear Dress Man.
Also, I don't know what they were doing with this scene coming up right here. Like, I don't get it. We are definitely not getting monetized for that video.
Yeah.
Well, that was something.
So yeah, I have no idea why that was in the game at all. But yeah, like, as long as you kill her, you save the girl right there, okay? But you have to get there within it to be blue for both of the other two to survive.
Yeah.
Are you all right?
And again, that makes the whole time management stuff all the more stressful, because it's like, oh boy, I gotta get to this stuff real quick, otherwise people die.
This is also, like, the only mission in the game where they do something like that, though. Like, there's no other mission in the game where it matters how early you get there, just that you get there, you know? Which, I suppose if they wanted to make the game harder, I would want more of that kind of stuff. Because I know that one of the things about Dead Rising 4 that people didn't like was that they completely removed the time management elements from the game entirely. From what I've heard, I might be wrong about that. So if I am, please...
No,
that's right?
That's true. I know
Okay.
for sure, yeah.
Which, I mean, I'm a mixed bag on that because, on one hand, I get why it's frustrating for some people to, oh yeah, while that's happening, these people are just hanging on for dear life over here. Hold on a moment. I'm just gonna hold
Take
on.
your picture.
See, that bunny rabbit just reminds me of the rabbit from Silent Hill.
But yeah, like I get why they might want to do that to make the game more accessible in general. But at the same time, like I feel like it's also just a defining aspect of the series is the time management stuff. So without it, it's a pretty basic like hack and slash, you know, which can still be fun, but that's where a lot of the depth of this game comes in because it's the moment-to-moment gameplay, all things considered, is pretty shallow. And that's not inherently a bad thing, because there's other elements of the design that make up for that. But if you just don't have that part, there's just not a lot going on, you know?
No, I get that. I was happy when Pikmin 3 brought back the, the issue, like, you need to get something... You need to get all this juice so that you can actually survive for a little bit, otherwise... that's it, game over.
Yeah, I liked the way Pikmin 3 did it because in some ways it has more tension than just, oh, you've got 30 days to do it, because at certain points in the game you can have like, oh, I can only do 2 more. Oh my god, Sally.
I can only get like 1 part because it's the only one left and I have to waste a day to do it.
Yeah, guys, come on. But I mean, the not having the time limit wasn't really my big issue with Pikmin 2. It was the dungeons being bad was my bigger issue. Like again, I feel like we're at the point. Like I feel like in 2019 we can have options for these sorts of things. Like I feel like there can be like a casual mode, so to speak, for.
And from what I understand, that's what Dead Rising 3 did have. Because, like, Dead Rising 3 does have a time limit, but you can do it casually with no time limit if you want.
I think that's probably the best way to do it, because I feel like there's nothing wrong with having more options in a game most of the time, you know?